Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, the eyes of the world remain on Paris after the series of coordinated terrorist attacks in the heart of the French capital on Friday. But that tragedy is rippling all across the globe, and the tension could be felt in the Caribbean. A local leader urges the community to do its part to protect the Virgin Islands from a similar threat. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Vigilance is key. This is the message of one lawmaker to Virgin Islanders in the wake of the deadly terrorist attacks that killed more than 100 people in Paris. Senator Novel Francis, chairman of the Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety, urges VI residents to keep watch.
I think it's important that we look for any unusual occurrences, any large gatherings, any late-night gatherings of individuals.
But apart from community vigilance, policy also speaks volumes. And in that regard,
well, policy-wise, I think that we have, we adhere to policy that's required into the United States in the thorough check of passport and other documentation. Individuals that may be undocumented, go through immigration.
The outrage over the Paris attacks has already resulted in tangible discrimination against Muslims and certain nationalities. Senator Francis says he discourages discrimination, but with a caveat.
I don't think that we want to be discriminatory, but at the same time, we have to be mindful that there's a situation developing where these individuals, again, are taking up the challenge of Syria and other means, and United States certainly is one of those areas that they consider to be their adversaries, so we have to be mindful of that situation.
Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security's Customs and Border Protection has issued the following statement to News 2, that they remain vigilant and maintain a robust posture to secure the United States Virgin Islands. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett this week requested a meeting with Chief Executive of Hess Corporation, John Hess, regarding the company's plans, proposals, and processes with respect to the refinery in St. Croix and its relationship with the government of the Virgin Islands. In the two-page letter to Hess, Congresswoman Plaskett sought the company's perspective on the refinery's closure, as well as how Hess Corporation came to the conclusion that it will no longer be profitable before ultimately making that decision to close that refinery in 2012. Plaskett further requested the company's present plans along with its commitment to other obligations. Counter 2 will keep you updated. As St. Croix motorists see a second drop in gas prices in less than 2 months, Senator Kurt Violet is commending gas station owners, operators for that reduction. Gas prices are now below the $3 per gallon mark, with some gas stations dropping their prices approximately 38 cents per gallon, down from $3.07 per gallon to $2.69 per gallon. Senator Violet says he's thanking gas station owners, operators for their cooperation in bringing down that price. Governor Kenneth Mapp has appointed Mr. Merwin Potter to the position of St. Thomas Water Island Administrator. Mr. Potter, he says, served as the director for the Virgin Islands Fire Service from 2004 to 2006. Prior to that, he led a long history of public service in the VI Fire Service as a firefighter, working his way up through the ranks over the course of 20 years to the position of Fire Chief for the St. Thomas St. John District. Administrator Potter has received many commendations and certifications from the U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Department of Justice, and more. His knowledge and experience will complement the position of administrator, stated Governor Mapp. Recently, the position was vacated when Lawrence Bishelty stepped down. A memorandum of understanding has been signed to reduce the risks of climate change between the governments of the territory of the United States Virgin Islands and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and the United States Environmental Protection Agency. The purpose of this memorandum of understanding is to formally establish a mutually beneficial working relationship to develop, implement, promote, and carry out cooperative activities related to reducing carbon pollution and promoting climate change resilience in Puerto Rico and USVI. It was signed during the pesticide conference being held. We will have more on Thursday's newscast. The Economic Development Commission is hosting open houses for certified eligible suppliers under the EDC program. Current eligible suppliers and Virgin Islands businesses interested in becoming certified providers of goods and services to companies receiving EDC tax exemptions in the USVI, you're encouraged to attend. The general public is also welcome to learn more about the VI EDA programs and services. On St. Thomas, it was held on Tuesday, November 17th, but the next one is scheduled on Thursday, November 19th on St. Croix at the VI Small Business Development Center in Scion Farm Shopping Center. Well, as the political ties between Cuba and the United States continue to normalize, pockets of Virgin Islanders reach out in another way, reaching out to Cuba through culture. Two Virgin Islanders recently announced that a trip they took earlier this year is bearing fruit. NEWS2's April Knight has more.
It began as a mission to track the journey of early Virgin Islanders, and now it's leading to more solid relations between the Virgin Islands and neighboring Cuba.
Seeking to trace the roots of our Virgin Islanders who traveled to Dominican Republic, to Panama, and to Cuba in the late 1800s and early 1900s.
In July, these two stalwarts of VI heritage and culture traveled to Santiago de Cuba, the nation's second largest city. For Larry Sewer, it's a very personal journey of tracing his ancestors' steps across the Western Caribbean.
My grandfather, he left from St. Thomas. He was in the construction technology field, and he went to the Dominican Republic. He went to Panama when they were constructing the canal. He also went to Cuba and especially to Guantanamo because he took part in constructing that site over there.
4 months after their July trip, the two men announced that Santiago's Ministry of Culture extended an invitation to the Virgin Islands to participate in the 2016 Carnival festivities. This would be the first time Virgin Islanders are officially represented in Santiago's Carnival.
We were the first from our area. They've never invited anyone from the Virgin Islands before, U.S. Virgin Islands in particular. So we were glad to participate.
And from there, both men hope the collaboration bears more fruit in the future.
That helped us to establish connections not only with the Ministry of Culture, but also with other agencies within Cuba.
Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
And we will keep you updated. Turn our attention overseas. French police sources tell CNN a Wednesday raid on a French apartment came right on time because they say suspects were about to move on some kind of operation. Instead, 8 people were detained, 2 suspected terrorists were killed, and authorities are working to see if any of those killed were related to the suspected ringleader of Friday's terrorist attacks. Diane Gallagher has more from Paris.
In France, a country President François Hollande says is forced into battle with ISIS.
Que nous sommes dans la guerre.
That we are at war.
Wednesday was a day to go on the offensive. Belgian and French police, along with security agencies, picked up on a telephone wiretap, leading them into an apartment in Saint-Denis, a northern Paris suburb not far from where the deadly stadium attack happened Friday. That wiretap suggested a relative of Abdelhamid Abaoud, the suspected Belgian ISIS ringleader on Friday's attacks, could be in the apartment. Now outside the building, a clear buildup. Heavily armed officers coming in by the truckload for an hours-long operation. Inside, a woman in another apartment hid with her baby.
They said to stay laid down on the floor, don't move, and turn off all lights, and that's what I did, and I hid.
She says gunfire and explosions shook the building until officials announced the raid was over.
A police operation that was particularly dangerous and heavy has just ended. 2 people died, including a woman by explosives.
Now officials say they will use DNA analysis to determine who was killed. Belgian state broadcaster RTBF reports that a woman who blew herself up in the operation is a cousin of Abaoud. CNN cannot confirm that reporting. President Hollande says that he will ask to extend France's state of emergency for 3 more months, giving authorities more powers in conducting searches and detentions. In Paris, I'm Diane Gallagher reporting.
And keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. Taking a look at those numbers there. As we can see, everything up. The Dow 247, NASDAQ 89, S&P 500 up 33. Coming up on News 2, all they are saying is give peace a chance. How was the turnout for the peace rally and concert at the Agriculture Grounds over the weekend? Find out. Highlights coming up next. Welcome back. The Yvonne Ashley Galabert, or YAG Foundation, held its 5th annual Breast Cancer Awareness Conference on November 14th at the Great Hall on St. Croix's UVI campus. Comedian Kim Coles, many are familiar with her. She brought humor and inspiration. She is an award-winning comedian, television personality, and best-selling author. Now, the weekend kicked off on Friday evening with 2 comedy show fundraisers, and it closed on Sunday with a breast and prostate cancer walk in partnership with the Office of Senator Samuel Sanas. According to Galabert, YAG Foundation has provided mammograms and related health services to more than 350 medically underserved women and men on St. Croix since 2007. The Virgin Islands Department of Education's Office of the Insular Superintendent, St. Thomas St. John District, they're reminding parents of the early dismissal of all public schools on Thursday, November 19th. Those are the dates and times there, all on Thursday, but those are the times. Now, dismissals will take place 3 hours before normal release times, and they are necessary to accommodate monthly job-embedded professional development for teachers. They say lunch will be served before students are released, and buses will be dispatched to schools to transport students to their normal drop-off locations. Parents are asked to ensure students are properly supervised following school dismissals. School will resume at normal times on Friday, November 20th. Please take note of the times there on Thursday. American Education Week is recognized this week from November 16th to the 20th with the theme, Great Public Schools, a Basic Right and Our Responsibility. Commissioner Sharon McCollum applauds committed teachers who, she says, make teaching their business and other school personnel for facilitating adequate classroom instructions. She said to the teachers, you are allowing all of our young people throughout the Virgin Islands to aspire and achieve. The public education system in the Virgin Islands is one that is being reshaped, refocused, and recharged. Well, Elena Christian Junior High and John Woodson Junior High, they held events today. On Thursday, John H. Woodson has an open house. Friday, November 20th, the ECJH school has a Spirit Day, Honor Roll Assembly, and a pep rally at the David Canegata Ballpark. In the meantime, the Lumuckle Elementary School administration is using that observance to express gratitude. Senator Kenneth Gittens, member of the 31st Legislature's Committee on Education and Workforce Development, is also pledging support and encouraging the community to do the same. Students at the BCB Middle School not only marked Career Week on Wednesday morning, they also got a lesson on saving lives. Pilots with the AeroMD Air Ambulance team paid them a visit to share what it's like to fly the sick and critically injured out of the territory. The team also gave insights on deciding which career path to take in life.
Helping the community is an art. And it is very, very rewarding, and I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to fly people from the island to the here.
But my key thing to tell you guys is this. Find a passion in life. Find something that you like. I'm not gonna say don't go for it. Just do your best. Whatever you do, just do your best at it and try your best.
Lessons well learned there. Congrats to the students. Now, the Ala F. Mullah Elementary School, they've announced their career development activities in an effort to begin introducing students to various careers at an early age. They'll have an annual career parade march on Friday, November 20th from 9:15 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And it's from Muller School to the Niski Moravian traffic light and back. Then in December, they will hold an annual career fair. That's Friday, December 4th from 9 a.m. to 12, again at the school. Well, as we reported last night, only one dreamer came out on top as the ultimate champion of the 2015 VI Idol talent competition. Kadeem Blyden won the judges over with a powerful rap number. Blyden is the first rapper to ever win that competition that has often favored power belters in the past, but other performers also lit up the Rykel stage. Here are some of the highlights from the finale.
It's a blessing to be here, blessing to perform for the people, and I'm grateful for this trophy right here.
Pray for your child, put your healing hands on them, and everything is going to be okay.
And congratulations to Kadeem and all of the contestants. Senator Terrence Nelson's rescheduled peace rally and concert was held last Saturday at the Agriculture Grounds on St. Croix. The march began at the Castleburg Light and proceeded to the Agriculture Grounds. Many local artists were involved, as well as many speakers.
As a community, we have made up our minds that we have committed to change the atmosphere, change the energy. We are committed to help, as the T-shirt says. We are a community of people, a committee of people who have organized to come with these peace initiatives here in the Virgin Islands. This is the 5th activity we've had thus far. The purpose here is to reach out, hope that something we say today touch the hearts of some of our people who are committing some of these violent acts. We do not want to succumb to the fear. We do not want to succumb to the terror of locking ourselves in our homes just before dark, not to come out until sunrise. The Virgin Islands is a beautiful place, and we believe that if we sit aside and do nothing, that is what allows bad and evil to prevail.
Great turnout there. Well, stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.